Hello, hello. I didn't even make sure my mic was working, so hopefully I'm working. Give me a 5 by 5 if it's working, you guys. I'd very much appreciate it. Iron Woman, yeah, it's working. Thank you. It's good to know. It's like Anakin Skywalker. It's working. It's working. And hi, everybody over on YouTube and on X. I need to communicate with my X people more. Come over to Rumble. It's much easier. Follow me on Rumble. It'd be great. Yeah, I am telling you, Patriots are in control. That is for sure. I don't mind being loud about it. It's a happening. The news cycles. Am I right? Jeez. Just as soon as I get done making a post, something else broke. Hey, I'm not complaining, but I'm telling you. Star Trek computer toss? Okay, I'm trying to think. Oh, twos? Yeah, dude, I love Star Trek. Grew up with Star Trek, Star Wars, everything like that. Really good. Heroic films. So well, apparently the KKK was alive and well. We're gonna jump into that. That should be fun. However, it was something that those who knew about for a while. It's been like, what, 8 years? Has it been 8 years, guys, since the beginning of the Q post? Hey. Rock girl. Like I was saying earlier, it lets you know who the Sunshine Patriots are. Oh, the original series? I watched the original series of Star Trek 2, yeah. Old school. Yeah, my parents, and then Next Generation, and then of course the original series movie set. Those were great. Remember the one with the whales communicating through time? Yeah, bro. Some good stuff in there. Yes, welcome guys. Please give me thumbs up and share the show if you like it. I have an intro like this so it kind of gathers the peeps before I go. I think it works pretty well. You know, everybody's doing stuff, right? Whatever, this should be a good show. I am just gonna go. We have so many X posts to go through. It'll be fun. These Thursday Let's Talk shows tend to be more like, let's get hyped, let's listen to some music, let's get rolling. Digital soldiers on the roll. Let's go. Let me know how you guys been doing out in chat. I always like to see it. I always like to read the comments. Let me see if there's other comments from before. Little jelly. Let's go. Out in the open ocean. All right, riders. Let's ride.
There are connections to the language.
Well, the QAnon people believe there are. So
I don't know what QAnon people believe.
Have at it.
The way it makes me feel, infection. It's almost like a tongue on the back of my neck. I never had a choice, connection. I never had a chance to catch my breath. It's eating up the space between us. It's eating up all remaining doubt. It's filling up the hole inside you. It's trying to find a way to let itself out.
Let's go on an adventure, guys.
Give me something to believe in. All these hands have got a hold on me. Give me something to believe in. As alive as you need me to be. Always gonna go this way. There's no turning back. Never any other way. There's no turning back. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason. Everything for a reason.
got the stuff, we got the videos, we got the socks, we got Trump, we got Q, we got Dan, we got Noon, we got Cash, we got tons of patriots out there. I was gonna say people, but patriots. Awesome. So glad to see you guys. Rock and roll. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoy the show or enjoy the intro or anything about the digital battlefield that we are in. Man, it's been long. It has been long. I'm all sitting here. I'm like, this is insane. The stuff we have been through, but then I liken it to, boot camp. I was looking for the word. I was like, what is the word I'm looking for? Boot camp. So this is an analogy that I've given before, and I feel it's accurate. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think. So we went to boot camp. Those of us who joined 2017 understood what was happening. I wasn't actually in 4chan, although I did know Jim, like Jim Watkins, who ran it. But I was always like getting the people that were taking these posts into the aggregators like QAg or Q Alerts. I remember those days. I'd have it so that if Q posted, it would ping. Like, that's how long I've been around. Hello. Okay. So anyways, now, after all this time, things are happening. Things are happening. And I have been one for years to not get on the train like, it's happening. Delta tomorrow. It's going to all go down. It's stupid, because those are meant to those are like throwing extra marbles in to throw off the truth, to throw off a scent to everybody so that they just see, oh, those are weird conspiracy Q people. I'm not going to go listen to them. They'll listen to that. Do you know that you are a victim? I'll say that. Don't think, oh, I'm a victim though, like, because you can rise above it. But we've all been victims of psyops like crazy all the time, through your food, through your everything. Like, I was thinking even about beauty products. Like, think about that, the poisons that women put on their bodies. Like, clearly I put makeup on. Like, you start thinking about everything. RFK Jr. going through trying to make America healthy again. We are doing it. Removing the scheduled vaccination for the flu shot. Let me know. I know there's some base people out here, so please let me know. Did you ever have an instance where you went in to get the flu shot and then you got sick with the flu right after? Yeah, that was me. With all my, I have some medical issues, although I'm doing so much better that I've just been able to just trying to eat as good as I can. Except pay attention to everything. What am I putting on my body? What am I doing? What am I listening to? Remember, our mind is so powerful. What we do, this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. I want you guys to understand one thing. If you ever get anything from this show, this is what I want to tell you guys. Your mind is powerful. You, who you are watching right now, either it's on the phone, on the TV, maybe you're driving in the car. Your mind, they don't want to tell you this. Nobody will tell you this. The CIA documents might, but you might not take the time to go look at it. If you understood the amount of money spent to keep you docile and not thinking, you would be like, oh, holy shit, I'm special. So much that the global cabal would do this giant global, it's global. I mean, think about it. Like, and that's the other thing. So I'm like, how do I say? Compartmentalism is the name of the game with the Illuminati. The ones at the very top, nobody even knows they exist. Okay, that's just how it works. We've talked about this before. The recruiting system for this cabal, if you want to put it that way, there's a lot of names for them. They are different. They're secret societies. They worship the old Babylon religions. Secret schools, mystic schools. They believe that they're the ones that are only privy to be enlightened. So that's why they call themselves the Illuminati, is because they have the knowledge. And us poor little peasants, well, we just, population control, boys. Woo, release COVID-19, way to go. But yeah, that's what we've been under, right? I don't want to hang out too much on the negative because we're going to jump right into it in the positive. I'm a chatterbox. You guys know I am. So dark to light. We got a lot. We got a lot of so many. These aren't comms, by the way, that I'm showing. They're just there is direct comms like we've covered before. We covered it on MAGA versus the World. I covered it on my Monday show. You know, anything from, I don't know, like Hold the Line to Patriots in Control. These are like quotes that are verbatim from Q Post. And the boom, 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 which, I got to get that one from Brad. I'm going to get that one from Brad. We'll play that too. Now, this one's great because this one is a Delta. And I think, you know what, we should lead right into that. Bear with me for a minute. and guys, let me know what's up. Let me know how you doing. Let me know how life has been. Where did he post that? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we put this in. I'll share this instead. We play this on MAGA versus the World for the intro. And so if anyone doesn't know, I love how Brad put it out like this. It was a Delta. So a massive Delta. So 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, so an 8-year Delta. And the Delta says boom, boom, boom. And it has a fourth boom with many exclamations. And let's check this video out here.
We took the most dangerous, unsafe, violent, and open border and created the most secure border in U.S. history, one of the most secure borders anywhere in the world, with 0 illegal aliens coming into our country in the past 11 months. 0. And in 2025, we achieved the largest drop in violent crime ever recorded. That's despite all of these people that came into our country. Many of them are now gone, I'm pleased to tell you. The murder rate, isn't it a terrible thing to be talking about murder? But you got to say it. At least if it's good news. I guess it's good news. But the murder rate reached the lowest level in over 125 years. 1900. The year 1900, before my father was born. My father was great. Before he was born, the flow of deadly fentanyl pouring across our border is down by an astounding 59%. And as you probably noticed, if you watch the news, illegal drugs coming in by ocean or sea are down by 97%. 97. And we're trying to find out who the 3% is, because I consider them to be perhaps the bravest people anywhere in the world.
And we're going to play this in a minute. And this is really great breakdown of what just happened. But did you guys see that? Did you guys hear that? That is a real comm. And it is a beautiful comm. And they've also been talking to us, like I said, through memes, which has been super, super fun. Been enjoying every single minute of it. And I hope you guys grab your popcorn, because I do believe that this is the concept now of the show. Now, the other thing is we have not officially had Trump come out and said, "My fellow Americans, storm is upon us." A lot of Anons have thoughts about what happened in the in-between time with Biden. There is a lot of views that range of, theories. But again, I like to, just cover it the most accurate truth I know. And as far as I know so far, I don't know. I don't know. One thing I know is I don't know. So we will see. But the White House put this out, and this was from Trump's post this morning. And he says, "You can't compromise on sanity and common sense." And they go, "So true, Mr. President. You can't. You want to know something? this is a great post. This is a great post to talk about for a minute. If you guys want to leave your thoughts about this, please do. So I'm a really nice person, right? And I don't want to ever, I never did want to ruffle feathers or, shake the apple cart or anything like that. But then it was like, the truth is more important than that, right? The truth is more important than that. And so for a while, I was like compromising. Okay. So I was compromising with, oh, this person is identifying as transgender. Okay. And that they truly are pushing and believing in school that there are different genders besides male and female. Look, I know there's some weird, unique occurrences with people, right? But I'm saying in general, there's just pretty much male and female. That's it, right? And surely not 530,000 LGBTQML and OPQRSTU VWXYZ, right? Like, so to know that they were pushing that as fact, this is the part where I was like, okay, this is scary because that's wrong. So that would be like me teaching my kids, like, this, I guess it's not really fully yellow, but it's, it's yellow, right? This is green. 100% green. Oh, how dare you say it's yellow? You are so racist. No, it's green. I told you. And then everyone's on TV. It's green. It's green. Let's make songs about it. It's green. Let's go and talk about it in the hospitals. It's green. Let's get green surgery. Green. And you're like, bro, it's yellow. You're fucking evil. Like that's what we've dealt with, right? So then I was like putting up with it for a while. You just put up with it. And then eventually you're like, I can't put up with this. This is not right. This is not right. I can't in good conscience say this is green. Anyways, I threw it at you. But you know what I mean? So that's what he's saying here. We were compromising, right? And I won't speak for you guys because some of you guys probably were like, no, But I was compromising. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. But when you understand the psyop, you're like, well, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I have to stand my ground. And I have to hold my line. I have to draw that line in the sand. I just have to, because they love to push it. They love to keep pushing that line farther and farther back. So pretty soon you're in a little box. And this MAGA round 2 is pretty much us saying, we've had enough. We're not going to do that anymore. All right. So let's hear some stuff coming out of the White House. The Department of State put out quite a bit of these videos. We're going to play, I think, a few of these. I'll kind of just play them back to back. Just kind of keep us up on what's happening at the White House.
Nothing from the U.S. has told them they can't come. I mean, the problem with Iran, it would be not their athletes. It would be some of the other people that would want to bring with them, some of whom have ties to the IRGC. We may not be able to let them in, but not the athletes themselves. But I don't know where that's coming from, other than speculation that Iran may decide not to come, and then Italy would fill their spot. But if they decide not to come on their own, it's because they decided not to come. What they can't bring is a bunch of IRGC terrorists into our country and pretend that they're, journalists and athletic trainers. Nothing from the U.S. has told them they can't come. I mean, the problem with Iran.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he let us in on a little thing there that they're trying to come in.
Not to come on their own, it's because they decided not to come. What they can't bring is a bunch of IRGC terrorists into our country and pretend that they're, journalists and athletic.
Journalists and athletic trainers. So that's how they're trying to get him in through different means. I love it. I love how he calls it right out on the spot. Rock and roll, Marco Rubio. All right. Let's hear what Trump has to say here about the UK.
I love the UK. I think they made a big mistake on energy. You should open up the North Sea in Aberdeen. You should open it up. And the other thing is they've made a big mistake on immigration. I love the UK.
Okay, 100%. You guys seen the memes, right? In just the pictures, what's happening over there. People are dying. I mean, it's I'm sorry, it's oh, and I saw something. Who was it? Was it Tracy that posted? I'm so sorry with everybody's names. On X, I'll see if I can find it, man. It's a little heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, but I think maybe we should show it. It's showing what's happening to like the Nigerian Christians and the things that is happening. Now, I know that's over there, right? And more in the third world countries. But however, that evil has come over, right? And so that's what he's saying about in the UK. They let open their borders. They let in all these refugees. Now, sure, some of them are families and children and mothers and fathers. I get it. But then you got a lot that are like freaking Scarface, bro. Coming on in. I see the articles. I saw one like it was so terrible. This girl, she was only like 9 years old. There was even younger, it was like 7 years old. And she was just walking home and she got killed by an illegal alien. I mean, why? You know, like I'm sitting there thinking about it. It's a little girl. Like they're preying on little girls, little boys. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why the Punisher is coming, because it's always been about the children. It's literally always been about the children. That's like a huge part. This is Abby talk, so do not run with this. But this is my theory. At one point, Trump everybody hangs out in the same circles, okay? Right? Trump found out about Epstein, but then that connection, I think he found it to the highest part of the land, which was Bill Clinton at the time. And I think Trump was like, these fucking sick sons of bitches. I will freaking take you out. It might be a slow game, but I sure as hell will not forget this. And like the beware a patient man. Yeah. And then they attacked him. So after they knew, this is again, my theory, after they found out that Trump knew what was going on and he was coming after him. And by the way, the deep state loves to hide behind their paperwork and legal things. And because they control the FBI, the DOJ, and all these places, they can control what happens. And then because they leak to the press, and you do it all the time, you guys do it all the freaking time, because they leak to the press, they can cause narratives. Right? Where'd the scrunchie go? This is green. I told you. Impeach Trump. He's evil. I told you. Trump is guilty of treason somehow, and he needs to be thrown in jail for, what was it? 200 years. Did you guys see that? So, that's what we're dealing with. We are dealing with the biggest propaganda machine, entity, complex, industrial complex. I don't even know what you want to call it. Censorship / propaganda pushing machine that we have ever seen, that this world has ever seen. They all work together, by the way. It's not just America. It's all of them. It's these intel agencies. It's these types of, I don't know, it falls into the Five Eyes. And they love to control the world. They love to. Isn't that crazy? Like, who wakes up and goes, yes, I'm going to control this person? See, that's narcissistic behavior. So understand that the deep state, the Illuminati, the secret societies, the global cabal, the globalist cult, all of them, the ones at places of power, they're crazy, psycho, narcissist freaks. They're not normal. And that's why, the Cuba. See, we are facing an evil. This is way beyond politics. This is way beyond politics. This is like biblical. Okay, that's why Q said it. It is biblical, because we're facing wizards and warlocks and cannibals and vampires. I can actually say that as a reporter. How can I? Well, I guess I can't actually show you. Well, the I don't know, the FBI releasing that stuff with Epstein, those emails, they're pretty strange. They're pretty strange, the wording. And then we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but you know what I mean? It looks like all these types of things that we've been saying forever and ever and ever and ever and ever are actually happening now. And again, I love you guys. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's so exciting. Isn't it exciting? Isn't the plan exciting? I think the plan is amazing and I love it. All right. The White House says they're quoting what Trump says here. So we'll just make that full screen. Trump says, I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats, though they may be their naval ships. Although they may be, and he's going to go to the rest of it. And he says their naval ships are all 159 of them at the bottom of the sea that is putting mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz. So he's just saying they got their hodgepodge. Like people are taking rowboats out there, right? We should make some cool memes of that. All right. There is to be no hesitation. Additionally, our minesweepers are cleaning the strait right now. I am hereby ordering that activity to continue, but at a tripled up level. Interesting wording. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So we got some stuff going on there in the strait as we have been. Now, I am so sorry. My days are just, okay, so I posted it on the 22nd. Jeez Louise, that was just yesterday, guys. Was it? I felt like it was the night before. But anyways, you had Kash Patel and Blanche come out. And they broke something that is also a type of a delta if you want to consider what it is. And so I'm going to play these clips. I cut out some of these clips. So I think I put them in order. I'll just pop through them to save time here because I've already been live 30 minutes. How does this happen, guys? I love you guys. Give me a thumbs up. Rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to play this here.
The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of one person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, after SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing. Not dismantling extremism, but funding it. To carry out this scheme, SPLC created bank accounts in the name of at least 5 completely fictitious organizations that had no bona fide employees or legitimate business purpose. The money was passed from SPLC to one sham account to a second sham account and then loaded on to prepaid cards to give to the members of the extremist groups. This was designed to shield the source of those funds, and because of this, SPLC is also charged with one count, as I said earlier, of conspiracy to commit money laundering.
Damn, bro. That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, it's like one of those things where you're like, and it's what we've been saying. Okay, it's so wild because we always were saying this. Anything from J6 to anything, we'd always go, oh yeah, there's plants there. They have plants. Those are plants. that's us saying that there are people that were funded by the deep state. And yes, sometimes they are through the FBI, the old FBI. We will not, it's not the same as Cassius. I want to make that distinction. And they do make that distinction, by the way. Or it's things like this. Donors donating to go to groups, okay, and saying, oh yes, it's to fight white supremacy and stuff. And then meanwhile, it's like, okay, Charlie. And he's like the head guy of the KKK. So I'm sending you your $3 million. Okay, start a riot over there. Like, holy, isn't that crazy? These dudes were caught. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I want people to get, oh, I thought that was the dog. I want people to, their names to be, I want them to be revealed who it is. Now, I wanted to look into it and see who was the heads and this and that. John Solomon did say that they just kind of quietly left, right? I haven't had the time to research it. Some of you guys may have. If you know, you could throw it in chat. Any of that kind of data would be great because we're going to be going through all of this right now. So yeah, so the SPLC funding the KKK, funding the National Socialist Movement, the Nazis. I mean, this is like from the comic books, like the evil villains. They were funneling the. It's like Palpatine, right? He's the evil dude the whole time, and he was the head of the council. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. All right, let me pull up some more. I wasn't supposed to talk in between them, and here I am talking in between them.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying.
Is this the, okay, I am sharing the right ones. I'm like, what? I have so many tabs open. Okay. So we're going to just jump through these guys. I'm going to pull.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they call them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain, to do certain things. And so, yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. And okay, Keltra, I see
you're
you.
Alleging.
I see you. So Keltra says, I like when they ended their fake Nazi meeting and one guy says, "Say hail." Like, hey bro. Yeah. Now here's the best part. I'm going to play a clip from Brad, and he pieced together a great video. He pieced it together through the night, and it covers all of this. And I don't even know if he jumps into the Q post about it. He might not. But it's just, I wonder if I should just go right to it. Let's see. Do I have it pulled up here? Hold on, everybody. I don't want to jump the gun. Okay, before I play his, I will play a few more. We're going to just play through the rest of these. And I keep on interrupting. I say I'm not going to. All right, so yes, paid actors being exposed. Sheriff Simon said, we knew this day would come. Keep charging midnight riders. And those who know, right? It all makes sense. We know about all this stuff. This is all in Q Post, by the way, which we will jump through in a minute.
The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again. They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed violent extremist groups. The groups, as the general laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right, National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front. In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses, totaling over $3 million. Furthermore, our investigation revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around America so that the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center in the perpetration of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump's administration. We're thankful to the president for his leadership and funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money, because money never lies, and they got caught. As the Attorney General said, these charges are varying, they are widespread and wide-ranging, and this investigation is very much ongoing. Today we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice.
They got caught. Nice wording there.
Director Patel, you said in an interview over this weekend regarding the election into whether the 2020 presidential election was stolen, you said that there were going to be arrests coming, and I promise you it's coming soon. Hoping you could just elaborate a little bit on what that meant.
Sure. We have many ongoing investigations into large-scale conspiracies, and like we did today, we'll be announcing those arrests when the grand jury returns those indictments.
All right. So that's a little...
You said,
I mean, dude, it's like we're here. Like, I remember from the very beginning, remember sealed indictments and things like that, like way back. Like, now I don't know how long this case has been building, but the fact that Nunes was just taken off Truth. By the way, if you guys don't know, like Nunes, like I will just pretty much tell you, he's like part of Q Team. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you haven't. Oh, my hair's crazy. If you haven't figured that out yet, go check it out. So that's why that's also a Delta. So I'm telling you, like my mind is blowing up. Half the time I go online, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And I'm like, no, it's really happening now. So I put this out. I go, yeah, just so you know, the Democrats have been racist from the very beginning. This never went away. It just went underground, and freaking Strings and Things says, I'm starting to believe the Democrat Party is the center of most crime cartels in the U.S. Boom. Okay, think about this. Like, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to piece the puzzles together, right? Because Trump, like you said, I got a plan, but I'm not going to tell you a plan. That would be dumb, right? However, we have been read in through the Q posts in certain ways. It's not like everything like word for word, but it's the idea of the plan and how they roll out. So think about this. It has to do with what you said. Center of most crime cartels in the U.S. You're thinking Democrat Party. What happened just a little while ago? Trump comes in with the helicopters all go in, pluck out Maduro in the middle of the night. Okay. Then over in, was it Mexico? That they just all of a sudden randomly a head leader is taken out. Okay. And there was something else, and I'm seeing these movements, right? Yes, and then of course now with Iran. Like these are all connected. They all mean something, and they're all positioning, just like in a chess game. And you can't take out that queen, man, in the beginning. I mean, you could get lucky, but you can't do that. Some of the big ones, you really have to work with the pawns first. It is the only way. Like, I'm telling you, if you've ever played chess, you just can't. You have to work on the pawns first. Because believe it or not, if you don't, the pawns could be your own worst nightmare. So there's moves and counter moves always going on. And it's important to understand that's how Trump works. That's how he's always worked. He's insanely brilliant. I was just telling Brad, like, it was the last night, I said, like, who are they? I was like, who are the Trumps? Like, really? They're all really smart. There's some crazy, weird books about them from the past. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. And we're going to get to some other stuff. Just interesting connections. And I will leave it at that. But yeah, so right here, the Democrat National Convention of 1924. Not kidding. It really is. There you go. All right. Now, I posted this. This is a Q post. This is Q post 1252, 1252. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this Q post, actually, that you will very much enjoy. If we go over here, as you will say, hey, I like it knowingly. Today, let's go. So when you come here, there's like a lot of fun little things that you can use. I know other people use QAG. That's really nice too. I love their photo search. It's very nice. But just so you guys know, anybody could come to this information. This site is still up. There was, what was the original Q site? And then it got taken down. That was a good one. That was the one that I had my thing set up to ding with. Sounds so funny, to ding with. Sorry for my crazy hair. So if you go here, QAlerts.app. And then right here, there's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You can see the deltas. They have it lined up for you. I didn't even know it existed. I was always scrolling the heck through and all this stuff. So I'm like, thank goodness for these tech people that set these things up. Makes it easy for me. So we go here and you click today. All right. Now just think about the news. Just think about the news. The news will unlock the map, I think is what they say. Let's hold on. I'm just doing this from my mind. One moment. News. I'm pretty sure, but I gotta find it. Where is that? I know it says something like news unlocks map. Hold on. Where the frick? I know it's real. There is a thing where it says the news unlocks the map. I'll have to get Brad. I'll have to get hold on one more time. Now sometimes it's hard to find specific. Okay, here we go. I found it. Okay. Like I know it exists. Okay. Now this says learn double meanings. So there's things in the Q post that are timeless, right? There's things that just show things, like for example, like the character of Trump or the character of Trump's administration or what the end goal is to obliterate the deep state, things like that. And then there are things that are put in here that are, I think they place them in here so when the time is right, they can ping them. This I've learned about through like CIA documents, what they've done with like Manchurian candidates and, MK Ultra people is that when they put them under hypnosis, okay, I'm just going to go through some history real quick. Through the MK Ultra program, when they would take their subjects and they would put them down through hypnosis aided with LSD when they found out a special spot. It's kind of like almost comatose. You're kind of coma-ish, but you're not quite there. They liken it to that position right before you're waking and sleeping. And it does have a hertz, the frequency for it. I can't name it off my head. But anyways, when they get you there, they'll program something that they want you to do. Like if they're making a Manchurian candidate, like they will program, grab this gun and shoot it. That's what they did with what I covered here with Sirhan, right? So this is what I believe happened anyways. So when they put you at the state, you're in between waking and sleeping, they will do something with you and say, shoot the gun, and you're just going to do it. And then what they'll do is when you're doing that, they will code it with a sound like a ding of a bell or someone pinching your arm or something to trigger the program, right? Okay, you got that? Now, that being said, the white hats are also aware of this science of it's psychology of the human mind. It's knowing how we tick, it's knowing how we talk, and it's knowing how to steer people. And it can be done for good or bad. Propaganda can be done for good and bad. Everybody needs to understand that. But I think that's what's happening here. When Q has put out these certain things like news unlocks the map, that means that when we start seeing the news saying exactly what is on here within the week of the biggest drop of the biggest scandal, like these people that were fighting the KKK were actually funding it. And the donors, like one of the top donors, as we're going to get into, is like Obama administration people, like Biden. Like, this is insane, right? This goes all the way to the top. So learn double meanings, news unlocks map. It's interesting why it's still so important. Expand your thinking. Well, steel is really important now because, we're making America great again. We're bringing back, the auto industries here, making American steel. I heard that like Chinese steel, the purity of it, it's like it could break easy. That's why we're used to all that stuff, right? The Walmart crap. So I don't know if that's exactly what he's talking about. But yeah, so the news unlocks map, very interesting. So I know I found it on the fly, and that was a big detour, but it's all coming together. Don't worry, we're gonna connect it. So then, like what I was saying, we're just gonna have to do like this. So this is today's Delta. This was written 8 years ago. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just going with it. I'm like, Q team, rock and roll, bros. Okay, so this is post 1252. It shows Hillary Clinton getting an ever so passionate kiss. And it says, Robert Byrd, KKK member, my first day in Senate, I sought out his guidance. And he was always generous with his time and wisdom. That he was. And as Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. What the frick, man? There he is with his little Ku Klux Klan outfit. And this is a great thing here. I like this one. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, there we go. Figuring it out, guys. I think I figured this out last time, like halfway through the stream. We're always figuring out things together, right? Okay, I love you guys in chat. Keltro, well, I never thought of it that way. Chess, yes, but who would be the queen? Who would be the king? That's a good question. I mean, I think the ultimate, like behind the players, is God, and the devil. just going to be honest about it. And see, I was saying this earlier. Trump is somebody where he is a businessman. He's going to cover all bases. He's going to make sure everything's done. He's coming to America. He goes, all right, I'm your president. I'm going to listen to you, the people. What do we need? Oh, we need to be energy independent. Okay, let's go. Oh, we're sick and we're dying. Big pharma, poisonous. Oh, cancer. All right. Unleash RFK Jr. All right, let's go. Oh, we're being threatened always by the deep state through their proxy Iran nuclear arm that Obama funded and gave a bunch of money to. And the deals, Uranium One, and all that schnips when she was Secretary of State. See? Do you guys see how it's all coming together? It's all coming together. Anyways, I don't even know where it's going with that. I just get so lost. Like sometimes I'm like, sons of guns. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say, the spiritual side. So Trump's like checking out all these boxes, right? And then the last one, think about this, is the spiritual side. Well, we've been taught for a long time that there's no such thing as God and stuff. That's stupid. That's just religion and whatever. Trump isn't messing around with that. He's like, no, okay, I'm going to be a praying president. Let's go. We're going to have people come in. You're going to give me spiritual counsel. Let's go. We're going to also get this box checked. Oh, we need to dedicate our country to God again? And one nation under God? All right, let's do it. I'm going to do the prayer. Like, that is insane. Have you ever seen a leader do that? The only other leader, and I know people are going to give me some grief in here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you guys are cool. I don't have too much of a problem with Russia. Okay. Let's just be honest about it. They need to cut out, everybody needs to cut out fighting. But here's the thing. The only other president or leader I've seen that actually is like, yes, I'm humbling myself before God, was Putin. I seen him do it. He did this whole thing, and it was even during, and indeed he's called out, he's called out the Satanists in America. Like, so he knows about the spiritual battle. Now, whether or not, you know what, where he's at with God and Jesus, you know, it's up to everybody. But he knows. Trump knows. And I'm pretty sure these other ones know. But who's behind them, right? Like what you're saying, Keltra? Like, they have the devil behind them. They have evil entities. They have dark spirits. It's funny, people don't talk about it much because it's like we just kind of go, you know, God and the angels and the devil and demons. But there is intricately lined out types of demons in a way, and they have different names and they do different things, and they are here on the earth around us. But the angels are too. And I think that people need to understand. There's a book called This Present Darkness is so freaking good. And it's just small, you're covering a small town or whatever, but it shows. Like there's times when people are doing like, it's funny in the book, they discover there is a secret society cult running the whole town. It's actually crazy. And they're worshiping Satan and all that stuff. It's a great book. But there are parts when they describe like this guy and he's going to do something. And it says like, and then it's like the demon of envy jumped on his back, put his claws on his shoulders, and started breathing hot air down his neck and told him, you know, the way they describe it, and you're like, oh God, Jesus, protect me. You know what I mean? Like, but I love it because it's telling you what I think is happening. We're just told it's not real, or, you know what I mean? We're just told it's not real, but who says? You know what I mean? Like, who says? And why can't we? Anyways, going way, way down. We're going way off, guys. I'm so sorry. This happens every time. We're going to come back. But that's something to think about, you know. I love the conversations, though. You guys are great. Yeah. I don't know. I love the conversation. No, and that's what red pilled me, his inauguration speech, when he kept saying, God bless us. Yeah. So we are the white pieces? Yeah. Yeah, dude, we are the good side. We are in the army of the Lord. We are with the angels. All you got to do is, like, just think about this. You know sin, right? or what does sin mean? It's like bad things in your life, or anger, or hate, and all this stuff. And we're living in it. And we got to learn to be good people and live in it. And I get it and do the best we can. But the whole idea about Jesus is he's like, I have a way that when you die, you don't have to go to a bad place because you've been exposed to that. He's like, I actually will take your exposure and you will become clean. And I don't even know how he's done it, because God can do anything he wants. And it's free and you can do it. So that's all you got to do is, and then you can learn about Jesus. You can learn about who he is, what he is, and like how he is a divine, he is God, part of God that I believe came here into a human body. Yep. I know, sounds weird, but it's true. I believe it's true. The only thing is why it's like, because his what he says is so enlightening. You can't just, you know what I mean? And then who's always trying to stomp him out? These Luciferian fuckers. Like, so clearly, Jesus must be important. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people got red pilled into it. They're like, oh, the world ran by Luciferians. Well, I sure hope God's real then. And then they find out, yeah, God's real. Praise Jesus, you know. Anyways, that's for another time. But yeah, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So that's what we're dealing with here. All right. Hard stop. We're gonna try to get on point here. We're gonna watch a video of Brad's, and it's gonna be great. And you guys are gonna love it. I'm gonna force you to love it. No, you're gonna love it. It's like the best news coverage of this topic right now. Okay, so quick history lesson. I know you've probably read it 1,000 times, but I'm going to read it. 13th Amendment. Okay, this is important. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. It had 100% Republican support, and it only had 23 Democratic support. Okay, so all you, not just Black people, any of the slaves that were freed. Black people, I know that they always say yes, and I understand. But all the slaves, because I think there was also Chinese and all kinds of people from different countries. But yes, there was a huge amount that were Black. Okay, so holy crap, racist sons of bitches. Now, 14th Amendment gave citizenship to freed slaves. 94% Republican support, so not full. But 0 Democratic support? What the like, that's insanely racist. Like, dear God. And what? You're supposed to believe that all men are created equal. Like, what the heck's that about? 15th Amendment. Right to vote for all. 100% Republican support. And again, 0 Democratic support. So anyone watching, Black community peeps, look at that, man. Don't ever vote Democrat again. I mean, don't worry. Like, all of us don't want to vote Democrat. But like, really, if you're Black, do not vote. They freaking are racist sons of bitches. They do Ku Klux Klan shit. Like, that's weird, right? Isn't that insane? That's what we're dealing with. It just blows my mind. Okay. So Q posts this. And he goes, it's time to learn the truth. Why are the D's inspiring activist groups to remove history? Slavery. Why are history books painting a different picture than before? Man, they really have been too. Why are the teachers following a new false script? Republicans are racist. I remember that going like, what the heck? We're like the nice ones. Like, we want to like love everybody, as far as I can tell. I'm not the deep state rhino people, just general Republicans. Learn the term projection. Why are they threatened? The MSM has you brainwashed. Don't get dinged, right? Make sure you know that you're not being like MK Ultra. It's a light version, but it can happen. Like, what are you eating? What pills are you taking? You know, drugs, things like that. If you can get off of these things, it'd be good. Be really good. Even alcohol. I'm sorry. But I do drink every now and then, but like, it's just the truth of it. Okay, so they want you brainwashed. They have you brainwashed. They want you controlled. They want you enslaved. Get the fluoride out of your toothpaste. Get non-fluoride toothpaste. And your water. Pay attention to your water. You're going to think better. I'm just, the only reason I'm telling you this is if you start cutting these things out. Okay. Also interesting. I've been trying to cut out like all these processed wheat stuff because I noticed my joints and everything just hurt so bad when I eat it. And that's why I've been eating paleo. And yes, I've gone back and forth a little bit, but I've been trying to be pretty good. And it's wild. Or keto. Is it keto or paleo? Basically, you're just eating vegetables and meat. And you even have to stay away from potatoes, but I did eat some potatoes last night. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying. But in general, I'd like no processed breads and none of that. And no. And I've been doing so much better. Way less inflammation and things. Okay. It's so bad. I just go way off. I go way off. They want you enslaved. They want you divided. Yeah, they want you divided. This is huge. They want you dependent. What has the D Party done for the Black population? What has the R Party done for the Black population? What has POTUS done in 1 year? Now, he was doing all kinds of awesome stuff for the Black community, and still to this day, I remember his first term, that was great. What is the net worth of Black leaders today? Why does Pelosi mention MLK 74% of the time during weekly addresses? Was MLK was a conservative? Learn the truth. Oh, Martin Luther King. That's what that is, Martin Luther King. Reread drops. Read Slave Grip of Black Population. Why do we look at skin color? Division. Freaking racist. They're racist, dude. It's time to unite and fight for our freedom. Together, we are strong. Apart, we are weak. Patriots have no skin color. All these freaking protests and shit, they have been doing them. They have been funding them. Yes, they have. The Proud Boys. All right, now we're going to pop through it. I'm skipping. Skippity skip. We're going to go to Brad's video, but hold on.
Decided to run in 2017.
I found this little gem. Do you think it's just a coincidence that he kept bringing up Charlottesville riots and the very fine people on both sides line? A talking point cherry-picked by the fake news. I don't think so.
Decided to run in 2017 when Jill and I were deciding we weren't going to run. We had just lost our son. We weren't going to get back in. Guys, I was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. We weren't going to run. We turned on that television. You'll all remember the night. You saw those people walking out of the fields in Charlottesville, carrying torches, Nazi insignias, and literally singing the same, chanting the same anti-Semitic bile that was heard all through Germany in the early 30s. And a young woman, I got to talk to her mom, an innocent bystander was killed. She was killed by that mob. And what did we hear? When asked, we heard, quote, there were very fine people on both sides. That was the response we got when asked about what the person thought. That's when I knew we had to stay engaged in the work of our time. Hate never goes away. We came out of the civil rights movement. I used to think you could defeat it. You could defeat hate, wipe it out, but you can't. It just hides under the rocks until someone breathes oxygen under those rocks, and it comes roaring back out.
Okay, I remember when I was cutting this up, I was like, does he really say this? Okay, so as far as like a public speaker or a leader and stuff like that, especially if you're president of the United States, you think you want to do some uplifting things, right? He's basically saying, no, evil's there. Evil will always be there. It's hiding in the rocks. And it's going to, I think he has an old man brain. So I think what he was thinking about was like gas spilling over rocks and dripping in the rocks. It must have been an experience he had. And he goes, you think it's not there, but it's there. He must have been at a crazy barbecue or something. So just like look at his tone real quick. Look at his tone.
What the person thought. That's when I knew we had to stay engaged
Here,
in the
here.
work of our time. Hate never goes away.
Okay. What? Like, think of that now. Think about it. He's an evil son of a bitch. Like, he is a puppet. Yes, I get it. But he is an evil son of a bitch. He's literally like, hate never goes away. Like, who talks like this? Who talks like this?
Hate never goes away. I came out of the civil rights movement. I used to think you could defeat it.
I used to
Defeat
think.
hate.
But guess what? You can't. I'm going to say it's impossible. You can't defeat it.
Defeat hate. Wipe it out. But you can't.
Can't.
It just hides under the rocks until someone breathes oxygen under those rocks. And it comes roaring back out.
Okay. Enough of that son of a bitch. But like, seriously, this is like one of those things where the future proves past. So he said the same talking points. That means Joe was read in on it. I mean, I know Kash Patel and them haven't released those connections yet. But I'm telling you, they are coming around the pike. There's no way they are not. They are all connected. And like, it was a Delta that happened like a few days ago that was showing. Oh, wait. That's what it was. Act Blue. Act Blue. So I misspoke, guys. It wasn't Biden that had connections to the SPLC. So I misspoke. It's just because the same day the other story broke. It was Act Blue. Okay. Same type of thing. Possible money funneling. Possible people receiving said money being funneled. So yeah, there's all those kinds of fun things. All right. So now I'm going to go. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to play it. I guess I'll play it from here. So this is what Brad put out. Now, one moment. One moment, please. Okay, so let's share this instead. So this is his YouTube channel. So definitely go follow him on YouTube now that he's been uncensored. Ish. It's so crazy, right? He's got 1,000. That's what I tell him. Like, yeah, we got our accounts back. But like, it's insane, the shadow banning that's still on them. So yeah, definitely give them a follow. And we've been doing Mega versus the World there. Awesome rock and roll show. And the video I'm about to play you is this one. SPLC indictment. It's worse than you think. All right.
Well, we have a bombshell indictment that was just dropped on the Southern Poverty Law Center tonight. And it is everything you hoped it would be. This indictment states that the Southern Poverty Law Center were paying people inside the KKK, the Aryan Nation, other various white supremacist groups, and were involved in the organizing of the now infamous Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. You know, this one?
Jews will not replace us! The white supremacists had arrived in Charlottesville. The next morning, a large group gathered in a park around a statue of Robert E. Lee.
I just got to say real fast before we get back to the indictment, because it is way worse than just Charlottesville. But I'd like you, the viewer, first to ask yourself a question. Do you know a single human that owns a shield? Like, does this look normal to anybody? Who gets up and is like, I'm going to go to the rally today. I better grab my uniform and shield. What the fuck? But the best part is the other side showed up with shields too. Like, come on. And now we know that the Southern Poverty Law Center helped set this up. And they've been doing it since the 80s. Southern Poverty Law Center were caught using shell companies to secretly pay their assets upwards of $3 million since 2013. Being that their funding comes 100% from the lie that their goal is to fight evil white supremacy, when in fact it turns out that they were actually funding it, I'd say they're in deep shit. Also, this now proves 100% that paid plans do exist and are doing exactly what we've said they've been doing for the last 10 years. false flagging white people and conservatives as a means to justify the left's hate of them, really to keep it alive in general. The indictment reads that the Southern Poverty Law Center's paid informants, or field sources, secretly engaged in the active promotion of racist groups while publicly denouncing them on their website. It says that within the Southern Poverty Law Center, these field sources were referred to as Fs, and breaks down at least 8 of them. Hey, F37 was a member of the online leadership chat group that planned the 2017 Unite the Right event in Charlottesville, Virginia, and attended the event at the direction of the Southern Poverty Law Center. F37 made racist postings under the supervision of the Southern Poverty Law Center and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. Between 2015 and 2023, the Southern Poverty Law Center secretly paid F37 more than $270,000. This is a lot like the FBI's informants who were found out to be pushing the Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. The group arrested for that got off because it came out in court that FBI informants were the ones who helped one come up with the idea in the first place, and then were the ones pushing them to do it. In this case, the Southern Poverty Law Center opened up bank accounts connected to a series of fictitious entities in order to pay these field sources. One informant named F9 was affiliated with the neo-Nazi organization, the National Alliance, and served as a field informant for the Southern Poverty Law Center for more than 20 years. F9's activities included fundraising for the National Alliance. And between 2014 and 2023, Southern Poverty Law Center secretly paid him more than $1 million. So the Southern Poverty Law Center were raising money for neo-Nazis. You realize how damning this is? I know I've never raised money for neo-Nazis. In 2014, this same guy entered a headquarters and stole about 25 boxes of documents, to which another field informant, F39, was then paid $6,000 to take the blame. So it's not just one informant in these groups, it's several. Another field informant was the Imperial Wizard of the United Klans of America. What have we been saying since the beginning of time? The Democrats started the KKK. They started Black Lives Matter. They are race hustlers. They made Jim Crow laws. They have freaking terrorized black people for the whole beginning of the 20th century, and they've been terrorizing white people for the whole beginning of the 21st century. This is what they do. And apparently some ops never stop. One informant was reported as an officer in the National Socialist Movement and the Aryan Nations affiliated with Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club. Between the years of 2014 and 2020, they secretly paid him $300,000. This one's a real doozy. F42 was the former chairman of the National Alliance, okay? So that's an imperial wizard and a chairman who was paid $140,000. Here's one who led the National Socialist Party of America and was the former director of a faction of the Aryan Nations and a former member of the Ku Klux Klan. He got $70,000. F43 was the reported national president of the American Front. And F Unknown was a member of the Ku Klux Klan and married to an exalted Cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan. If you're wondering what an exalted Cyclops is, it's this guy, Senator Robert Byrd, who is beloved by the Democrats.
Robert C. Byrd.
I just have to say something. I think when Brad made that, like he literally, that was not, I don't even think he was like looking for Delta or nothing. It was just related to it. And I was like, okay, that's so weird. This is the Delta for today. Pretty cool, right? I think that's cool.
Ku Klux Klan. If you're wondering what an exalted Cyclops is, it's this guy, Senator Robert Byrd, who is beloved by the Democrats.
Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But for a lot of us, he was a friend.
Some things never change, and it's not like they didn't know.
There are a lot of people who wrote these eulogies for Senator Byrd in the newspapers, and I read a bunch of them, and They mentioned that he once had a fleeting association with a Ku Klux Klan. And what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. He was a country boy from the hills and hollows of West Virginia. He was trying to get elected.
A fleeting association with the Ku Klux Klan. It's amazing how fluidly these people lie. Robert Byrd was an exalted cyclops in the Ku Klux Klan, which means not only was he a member, but he started his own chapter. So a little more than just trying to get some votes. Going back now to the indictment, it states that the way they secretly funneled this donation money to these actors, individuals at Southern Poverty Law Center, including a person who would become the chief financial officer, aka Employee 1, and the person who would become the director of Intelligence Project, Employee 2, among others, opened a series of bank accounts in the name of various fictitious entities, including but not limited to the following. And there it is right off the bat. The Center for Investigative Agency, or if you abbreviate it, CIA. What a coincidence. Fox Photography, Northwest Technologies, Tech Writers Group, Rare Books Warehouse. I find these first two particularly interesting. All fake. So that covers everything. An exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan, an imperial wizard, an Aryan nation Nazi officer, the leader of the Nazi Party in America, the national president of the American Front, and at least one of the infamous Unite the Right rally organizers. All funded by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And this is where I'd like to spider out from in two different directions. First and foremost, we have the one that we're most familiar with. This is where one of the first big Trump hoaxes is born.
That now infamous moment in the wake of neo-Nazi protests in Charlottesville.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
But
now, if you remember, every news station cut that clip right at that moment and presented it as President Trump saying that neo-Nazis were very fine people. This was spread across the United States. Oh my God, how racist. Trump calls neo-Nazis very fine people. And a hysteria was purposely created. But when you let the clip play, just 49 seconds, not even 1 minute later, he says this.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Was right in the same statement 49 seconds later. You're telling me that every single news station got that wrong? That was deceptive editing with a purpose, a setup. And now we know for sure that Charlottesville itself was a setup. Not that it wasn't already obvious with these cartoon caricatures that look like they came right out of a left-wing Punch Nazis comic book that showed up for this thing. And not to mention that its organizer was a former member of the Occupy movement and Barack Obama supporter who suddenly decided to change his ways in 2015 and become a high-profile, high-visibility Nazi. All very believable. Now, here's the other thing that comes to mind with Charlottesville. Obviously, if they're helping to organize this big event that the news just accidentally got wrong as part of a massive operation against President Trump, there had to be others involved, especially reading this list and realizing that they not only staffed these groups, they were leading them. So that got me wondering, who showed up to this thing? And one of the main groups who arrived that day at this set-up event was Vanguard America, a National Socialist group who just so happened to come in matching khakis and white t-shirts, and also with branded shields, whose group just so happened to include the guy who drove his car into a crowd of protesters, turning Charlottesville from an incendiary branding psyop into a national tragedy, validating the hysteria that would follow. And if you watch the video, the entire street is clear behind him. You don't just ram your car into 40 people when you have a totally open lane for 2 blocks. So something was wrong with that situation. And again, of all the groups that were there, he showed up with Vanguard America. And this is the part where I find to be just too much of a coincidence. because just 2.5 weeks after Charlottesville, Vanguard America shakes up and starts over as a little group you may have heard of, the Patriot Front. Who, after reforming, just so happened to accidentally leak this video.
Life, liberty, victory.
Life, liberty, victory.
Check it out.
Damn, son, that might be a cut.
That's a good take right there.
Sieg fucking heil. Let's fucking go. I can say that now that it's over.
I want to have my finger up.
Yeah, just a regular conservative hanging out, doing what us conservatives do. So freaking fake. It's insane. And they were born directly out of the PSYOP that was Charlottesville, that we now know the Southern Poverty Law Center paid a lot of money to help set up. And it seems like they've paid a lot of money to set up a lot of anti-white, anti-conservative hate. This is Jussie Smollett on 40 years of steroids. And they just got a major indictment dropped on their head. And again, it just proves that everything we've been saying about left-wing plants and agitators has been true. And now it's all being exposed. Where we go one, we go all.
I was like removed. I was like in deep thought. Dude, this is an amazing video. So everybody, please share away with this. Okay, yeah, I will share. I'm also going to share the X post of it in here. Can you guys handle that? Can it go through? All right. Yeah, so the first one I put in there is the YouTube, and then this is his X. Brad's so funny. Yeah, dude. And don't you love that he put that in there, Keltra? That I thought of you because I was like, okay, I'm going to play this because you mentioned that exact video. So I know you must be a veteran Anon or something to know that and to pull it out of your mind like that. You know. So hat tip to you. All right. And along that line, stand by, Patriots. Shoulder to shoulder. I love this remake. And it says right here, the watermark. People were passing it around. So check this out. Love it.
The American people are looking for answers and they're looking for hope.
Afraid, oh, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me.
Devil Dog, rock and roll. Freaking love this. Dude, that was freaking fire. I saw that, right? I didn't watch that whole thing before I played it. While I was setting this up, I came across it. I was like, okay, this looks like a great video. Hat tip, man. I think it was MAGA Devil Dog, rock and roll, from a fellow video editor to another that was brilliant. That gave me goosebumps. And that's always a sign that that's a moving piece. So good job. All right. Now, this is kind of related to the whole SPLC exposure thing here with Cash coming out and Todd Blanche. But when this happened, okay, so it's like breaking news, right? The people that were saying that we're fighting racism stuff, we're funding the very freaking people that were doing it. Like, what the fuck, right? So this happens, breaking news. The press comes in. They're all like, it's about a 50-50. I listened to it, and I think there's like a total of like maybe 10 questions that were asked, maybe 12. Half of them are about what the groundbreaking news that they just revealed. And then the other half of them about, oh, Kash Patel, drunk and disorderly. Oh, what's going on? Can we trust you? Are you drunk on the job? And like this crazy stuff. And then also about him supposedly being locked out of his computer for a few days. And then he thought that he was going to be fired from the DOJ, or maybe he probably sent a silly text or something like, oh, I think I'm going next. Like, who frick knows? But there was this leaker, right? That's leaking this shit to the press like they do. CIA, Mockingbird Media, we know who you are. And Cash goes freaking nuclear on this dude. And there's another clip, and I think I have it. I hope I do. Yeah, check this out. It's great. It's great.
How is the Department of Justice ensuring this investigation remains free from political influence?
Well, I mean, look, it's free from political. There is nothing political about this indictment or this investigation. SPLC has lawyers, and if they think that I'm wrong about that, they're going to be free to make a motion in front of a judge like every other defendant in the country. As far as what I just don't know information, it wasn't that far ago. It was within the past 4 or 5 years, but there was a decision made. I don't have any insight into why it was made to not pursue the investigation, and we started it again, and that brings us to where we are today.
Well, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations in the Atlantic article that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listen to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit. And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Appreciate it. Ding, ding. First, folks, before I get started, a message to these FBI leakers who are out there trying to stop Director Kash Patel from his initiatives to clean up the government and institute broad accountability for a lot of the weaponization that happened before we got there. I'm going to make this quick. You guys and ladies doing this are filth. You're garbage. You're an embarrassment. You disgust me. I was proud to have worked there. I worked with some amazing people. To the guys and the ladies out there with dirt under the fingernails, out there, you know, pulling bank robbers, drug runners, terrorists off the street, CCP spies, the VCAC squads working against violent crimes against children. Thank you for everything you do. I mean it. It was an honor to work with you. To the scumbags out there leaking to the media, bullshit stories and lies you know are bullshit to try and get cash out because you don't want to go back to doing your job. I'm really sorry about the language here, but you can go fuck yourself. I despise you. You are, if I see these little slugs outside of my house sometimes, or you are a lower form of life than the single-celled organisms that can pollute people's body. You disgust me. You absolutely disgust me. I was talking to a friend of mine last night about this. This topic came up. There's just the endless, it's not that even the stories have any air of authenticity to them at all. You guys just want him out because you don't want to do your freaking jobs. You don't. You want to sit on your fat asses, collect a government paycheck, collect a pension, and do nothing and hope a liberal Democrat president comes in so you can get back to targeting people. You're gross. You're gross. I'm glad we got rid of a ton of you. I know some of you like ticks or hiding because you don't have the balls to stand up and go on the record. Anonymous sources say, grow a pair of nuts and put your name in the story. You won't because you don't have any balls. Your kids and your parents are embarrassed by you. Your last name will go down in infamy. You are a horrible, a genuinely horrible piece of human waste. That thing that comes out of your rectum, that's you. That's you. You disgust me. I'm embarrassed you had the same badge I do because you didn't earn it. You didn't earn it.
Bro.
Sorry, folks, for the language.
He's like, I'm sorry for the language, but he's always sorry for the language. We know how you feel. But yeah, so then this was put out today. Bro says money doesn't lie. He's right. Follow the money. Why don't that's homework if you've never done it before. Put in follow the money into the Q post thing I showed you. And you'll find a lot of interesting things concerning follow the money. So let's hear what he has to say. Director Kash Patel of the FBI.
Money doesn't lie. The charity that supposedly fought the Klan funded the Klan. The charity that supposedly fought neo-Nazis funded neo-Nazis. The Southern Poverty Law Center ran a methodical, calculated scheme to defraud their donor base of $3 million and lied to them and used an illicit banking structure system to create shell companies to hide their money and who it was being sent to, specifically for the reason to sow discord and hate into our society. This is the ultimate definition of hypocrisy. And if you look at the indictment produced by the Department of Justice and the FBI, you will see that these banking institutions tie directly the funding mechanisms in which the Southern Poverty Law Center used to fund at least 8 hate groups they supposedly wanted to take out, but they were paying the very villains of our society they supposedly wanted to protect.
Wow. And then we're going to jump over here. I'm going to start going through these fast because I'm realizing I am like already out, like getting close to 2 hours. I'm trying to fit all of this content. Here we go. Charlie Kirk warned for years that the Southern Poverty Law Center was a fraud, a smear machine that labeled conservatives as hate groups to silence and destroy them. Charlie knew.
Understand that they're literally putting high school chapters of ours on a hate group next to the KKK. And next to neo-Nazi groups. And I mean, we can laugh this off. There's an element to this. Remember that there was a shooter that went to the Family Research Council years ago, inspired by the SPLC list. This is them trying to make us basically surrender at Turning Point USA. We're going to do the opposite, and our students are only going to lean in even more. But they can't debate us on our ideas. They cannot have dialogue. They cannot actually go onto the merits of why they are right or why we might be wrong. Instead, they must smear us with the age-old one-liner that you are a racist or that you are a hater. And they're finally realizing the power of Turning Point USA, which is why they put us on
Well,
this
when you're
list.
effective, you're a threat.
After Charlie Kirk was put on their watch list, he got shot. Well, they'll say things like, oh, Trump's targeting us. No. You know who cracked the case? The banks. Internal audits noticed suspicious activity.
All right. So some suspicious activity going on in the banks. All right, I'm going to pull up a few other things while we do. Simple answer to your question is, are you lying?
Computer login issue.
This is so funny.
Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your.
The simple answer to your question is, you are lying.
System. What did
Hold
you
on, I read it
say
wrong.
after you were unable to log into the system?
Let me answer it.
No, let me.
No.
Did you communicate with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into?
The problem with you and your report, don't cut me off. You asked the question. The problem with you and your baseless reporting is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so. And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans, you are off topic.
Did you talk to anybody about whether you
The
thought you were
simple answer to your question is
Shut up.
you are lying. And every time you do so, I've answered your question. It's simply as follows. I was never locked out of my systems. Anybody who says it, anyone that says the opposite is lying. Thank you.
Man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude. And I know maybe that's part of your profession, but please just stop. If you ask a question, he can answer it. And then now you're interrupting me. But just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit. Try it sometime.
Okay, bro. Todd Blanche is rock and roll, right? This, like, I know it might be your profession to be an asshole. However, this is supposed to be professional. We are talking to you about a breaking case. Anyways, I just love these guys. The Trump administration is savage. I don't care what anyone says. I'm fully 100% MAGA, and everybody else can just go away. Because, and that's the whole thing. That's why Trump's post there, when he's like, we need to stop. I closed it out, but basically, we were giving people an inch. We were giving the people an inch, and then they took a whole mile, right? Can't do that anymore. We have to be strong. We have to hold the line. We have to remember. We have to learn, first of all, if you guys are all new to this, and I think a lot of you here are not, that you know that there was an infiltration thing happening. It's been happening. Deep State got us. And it was like my own little revelation I had like a few months ago. I'm like, it's funny. The New World Order, they were already here. Like, we were always thinking the New World Order was coming. The New World was coming. Trump is dismantling it. It was already happening. You had the United Nations. You had the WHO. Everybody was all connected. They wanted to do the vaccine passports. Don't forget what they were doing. They never thought Hillary would lose, remember? They never thought she'd lose. All right, so we're going to do a little intermission here. I will see you on the other side. Are you ready to serve your country again? So, yes, I wrote this song and put it together. And that's the question. We've been in it for a long time. And even when I made this, probably a few years ago, right? But the thing is about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is it doesn't have a time limit. The mission doesn't change. We're on a mission. We're on a mission. And so I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll see you on the other side.
endless lies. Through threats, extortion, blackmail and bribes. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. The people have awoken.
Ain't that right, guys?
To join in the fight. Are you ready to finish?
Oh, you know you are.
What we started. Nothing can stop what is coming. It's not just a catchphrase.
Yeah, culture with the popcorn, rock and roll.
Wherever
the
we
Justice
go
coming. Yeah.
Know that they never forgot the plan. Now remember your road, it had to be done this way. Are you ready to serve the country again? Without you, collectively there would have been no way to bypass their control. United, not divided. Welcome to the digital battlefield, where we go one, we go all. You are awake, thinking for yourself is their greatest fear. Trust yourself, the great awakening is here.
Strengthen my faith, Lord. Forgive my sins, so that I may be clean in your righteousness. Make me brave, so I can stand and fight in the spiritual battles of my life and in our world. Give me your wisdom and discernment, so I won't be caught off guard. Together, Lord, we'll win, because of truth you already have.
Wherever we go, one, yeah, know that they never forgot the plan. Remember your road that had to be done this way. Are you ready to serve the country again? Are you ready? Are you ready to serve the country? Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to serve the country again? Remember your road, it had to be done this way. Are you ready to serve the country again? Are you ready to serve your country again?
I know I am. I know I am. Rock and roll. All right. So, way cool. It's so good to see you. The Justice Cometh. It was great. Isn't it fun? This is the funnest thing. And there was also during this whole Ireland protesting that has really expanded, that there's stuff going on, man. The Great Awakening is upon us. But it's like, it doesn't matter who they are. If you know about Q, we're all connected. It doesn't matter. We already know the same things if we followed it from the beginning. So really good to see you. I really enjoyed you guys' show. I had it in the background for a little bit listening. And yeah, dude, awesome that you guys are doing episodes. And that's what we got to start doing. That is what we have to do, because the fake news is not going to cover any of this ever. And if they do cover it, it's going to be slanted, right? There are very fine people on both sides. Cut. Shh. Go with it, Billy. Go with it, Tommy. You know, the CIA, I freaking hate them. You know, it's all part of this operation, Mockingbird Media. See, they love to control your mind, and they love to manipulate things. And then they come out like John Brennan, you know, like, well, actually, we're going to play that. We're going to play this because it's just great. You know, they come out with I'm the head of the CIA and I'm the head of the FBI. And we say that this smells like Russian disinformation or Russian collusion, or this looks like, well, you know, it has Hunter's laptop has all the classic earmarks. It's the earmarks, right? It's the earmarks, guys. Well, frickin' John Brennan said earmarks, so 100% true, right? Right. All right. So when they came out with that bullshit letter, and I saw all their names, there's a 51 intelligence agencies. Agents just signed off. We just sign on off. There's nothing that's happened. Meanwhile, yes, it does exist. The FBI had it for 3 years, and they lost it. Wonder where. But anyways, I'm like, you know, let's find these freaking guys' names, and women, by the way. Let's find them. Let's find their faces. Let's put out what they do, and let's make a video of it. A few of them, I can't find their pictures, so they're pretty removed. Their footprint, if you want to put it that way. So enjoy, guys. Don't forget the 51 intelligence officials that lied and claimed Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. TikTok.
The difference is in 2024, the evidence is there. We now have the Durham investigation. We have all the congressional investigations. There is now hard evidence that there was election interference by the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Justice. They've got to be terrified. Those individuals have to be terrified.
Look at them faces. Michael Moore, Mike Vickers, Doug wasn't too wise, was it? Counterterrorism.
They've got to be terrified. Those individuals have to be terrified.
Oh, Andy, why would you just do that? You knew it was there. They're all in their little club. They're all in their little club. They probably put on their little Ku Klux Klan little, you know what I mean? Freaking Rodney Snyder. Oh, dude, Glenn.
Those individuals have to be terrified. So then go up to 2020. It was the CIA this time that got involved in the 2020 election with those 51 former intel agents who talked about the Hunter Biden laptop as total Russian disinformation. So they've gotten away with it for 2 elections. The difference is in 2024, the evidence is there. We now have the Durham investigation. We have all the congressional investigations. There is now hard evidence that there was election interference by the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Justice. They've got to be terrified.
I'd be terrified. I mean, like, what was it? Money? Power? Remember Adam Schiff? He admits.
You've got to be terrified. Those individuals have to be terrified.
You know, he admits he's going to get a cushy cush job if he plays all like, you know, Hillary's pet and everything. Well, that didn't work out, did it? No, it didn't. Too bad. David, why did you do it? Pam, so she was one. Pretty erased. And even a lot of these guys, honestly, I could just find one picture. Their digital footprint is pretty removed. Yeah, bro, you were covering for the deep state. Like, the laptop was real. You think we're idiots? You think that we didn't figure it out? Didn't think Q was gonna happen. I'm having like technical difficulties again. Sometimes like I'll be doing my stream, everything's flowing nice, as you all know out there. And then something crazy happens and things shut down and I think we're cool. Yeah, if you do live streaming, you know how that goes. All right, so this is a video I put together just a little bit ago. We're bouncing all around now, guys. We're having a good rest of the stream here because I have so many tabs open that we haven't even touched. So I don't know. I think what I'll do is, if you're cool with it, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go because there's been comms. There's been a lot of conversations. Dan posted a really cool video. Dirt bike racer, rock and roll, and we'll get to all that. So let's just we're gonna pop through these things. Love you guys, and also, yeah, you can help me out, please. You made that? Yes, I made that. Yeah, I make pretty much all of the things you're gonna see here, except for that one, the Stand By Me. That was awesome. I didn't make that. I wish I did. Isn't it funny how that is? Iron sharpens iron. You know, you see a video, you're like, I'm gonna outdo that video maker. No, it's not like that. But it is a competition in a way. I think Q team set it up that way very brilliantly. I mean, how do you start a movement? How do you start a movement to, first of all, get upset, but then also not have them go full like anarchists and burn down the government? You know, because let's say you find out they're all corrupt, which most of them are. At the same time, Q woven inside of these posts the timeless things, like I said, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. What is your heritage? What is these beautiful things that these men sacrificed their life for? Like, yeah, they threw tea in the water, and you know, people are like, well, that was whatever. Like, that was like a big thing. They did it because of taxes. I mean, it's so insane that we've let things go so far. But obviously, Trump knows the tax issue is a problem. That's why he's doing the no tax on tips and just slowly roll back. Look, it's really hard to fix a corrupt system, the Federal Reserve, that keeps printing money and keeps doing these things. However, now that Trump's in the second term now, it's been a little quiet about those things over there, but I'm pretty sure in the Q post, man, they do not leave that rock unturned. They go right on in. to 1913, and the what happened, Jekyll Island. Where is that place where they all met and they all decided and they all signed off making the Federal Reserve, and the only people that were pushing back on it happened to be on the Titanic, the hidden iceberg. That's what the movie tells you. Anyways, right, guys, right, yeah. But anyways, there's a lot of things that have happened that I hope one day the records get fixed, and people like me and video editors out there, and also people that just post memes. Take a meme, leave a meme. This is how anons pass out ammo. This is how we fight back the mainstream. This is how we go around, right? Go around. And sometimes I think I'm in like a weird Mandela effect thing. How do I say that? Because I have a memory of something else. I have a memory of a Q post that doesn't exist, I guess, because I've never been able to find it again. So I probably shouldn't even mention it, but it's basically, I've never been able to find it, so I guess it doesn't exist. But I remember it, and it was a post talking about that the Q post, and maybe you guys might know, maybe one of you guys can, maybe it does exist. It references, the best I can remember, that the Q posts are a ship. It likens it to a ship to bypass the narrative. And I looked up bypass the narrative. I can't find it. So yeah, if you guys can ever find that, and that I always was thinking, is that True Social? Remember when True Social just came out? Man, it's been a long ride. But anyways, I liken it to that. I got way off topic again. But what did I pull up here?
And the one thing we will do that they never will do is we will follow the facts and the law and go to courts of law and correct these justices and lawyers who have been prosecuting these cases based on politics and actually issuing them as lawfare. We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
And you remove all these positions, right? And you start enacting measures, not of retribution, but of legal consequence. Y'all acted one way. For instance, the people that signed the 51 Intel letter, right? Permanently suspend their security clearances forever. Every one of those guys lied. Every one of those guys got caught lying. You're talking about 2 former CIA directors, a former NSA director, and a former Secretary of Defense. All intentionally, to this day, continue to lie and won't take back their letter. Okay, you can stop making money from your security clearance. And if you break the rules and regulations, you're out.
Bro, you're out. You're out, bro. So that's why they're attacking cash. Does it make sense now? It definitely makes sense now. All right, now we're going to come over here. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. We're going to go through some X posts because my tab is blowing up and huge. So we have to go through these and click them off because it's insane. It's like, all right. So X22 report posted today. Obama revived the Muslim Brotherhood, midwived ISIS, shipped pallets of cash to Iran, funneled $1.7 billion to Hezbollah through Swiss accounts, ran a shadow foreign policy through Valerie Janet after leaving office. Trump just took a flamethrower to all of it. Obama's legacy is ash. And we've covered in depth about how he did that. I've found all those videos of the time, and there was a trade-off that was happening with hostages. So hostages were trading, and the talking point in the news was, is Obama doing this as a hostage exchange? And then it says, because that means the U.S. is being involved in blackmail, and that's against blah, 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 blah. So there was this talking point. Knowing what we know now, that was their talking point to cover the truth. Do you like how I sing it? It was, though. To cover the truth of what was really happening is he was giving them money, and it was like him and Hillary Clinton, man, through the Uranium One deal. And I think that might come to fruition. Any anons out there know what I'm talking about? The nuclear dust. Uranium One deal coming to fruition, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say things that I don't know, but all right. So X-22 report also says if Obama willingly gave literally what I was just saying. Obama willingly gave uranium to Iran while the U.S. was still technically at war since 9/11. That's not just treason. Those involved would be labeled unlawful enemy combatants, and they would be. They would be. And tried via military tribunal that circumvents the DOJ entirely. Now, if this is accurate, which I believe that is, that makes 100% sense, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Renegade. Codename Renegade. He is really freaking gay. Yeah. I know. Did you guys ever watch that interview? That guy talking about it? It was like him and Obama were like in a limo and they were doing coke in the back seat, and like he did. Yeah, I don't even want to describe what he did to him. Yeah. Anyways, so Obama. I put the size as suitable for his needs. Is what it is. He's like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's nice, in all honesty, for a jail cell. Poor Barry, but not really. All right, so that takes us to this. Let's see. Eric posted it, and let's see, when was this? It was okay. So that was yesterday. We're at the 23rd. So yesterday, Yesterday, President Trump posted this on his Truth Social. It's very damning.
Every single
very
American
fiery.
in their shoes. Every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. We absolutely must hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history. James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting in July 28th in the Oval Office. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years. It undermined a sitting duly elected president. It sabotaged administration. It framed a 3-star general. It destroyed and ripped this country apart. We had a constitutional crisis, the likes of which I don't think any American can fully comprehend. It is atrocious, and every single one of them must be held accountable.
We're moving from dark to light. This is the Great Awakening. People of the world have woken up, and the light has shined on the darkness, and the darkness cannot hide from it. All the darkness can do is panic. All of the systems the darkness had in place to control us are going to crumble. The fear, the corruption, the greed, the wars and rumors of wars, the hate, the technology, media propaganda, the child trafficking, and the slave economy. All of these control systems will crumble down. The darkness will collapse in only a few countries at first, but other countries will soon follow. We will unite against the dark. How will it be walking into
No,
the light
sure. Thank you for
after
reposting the
thousands
stream.
of years of darkness.
Yeah, dude. Yo, bro. Yo, Nazis. They never went away. That's what happened.
It's game over for the darkness. Are you ready for the light? Welcome to the new Earth.
You know it is coming. Truth and justice. Best is yet to come. Exposing the court hunting. Expect delays. It's going to happen. There are corrupt judges. There are corrupt courts. Military justice is the reason they say military is the only way. Just saying. Oh, they're going to find out, all right? They're finding out kind of like right now. Yeah. Durham's Annex A was declassified by John Ratcliffe just recently. It's powerful. It's powerful. Have you noticed all these things are being exposed? exactly what they're doing.
Where we go one, we go all.
Oh, yeah. The choice to know will be yours. And we are here to help anyone out that is figuring things out for the first time. And I put everybody that's out there right now, dude, 100 freaking percent. Codex 9/11. This is Brad's documentary. Original Where We Go When We Go All. He was cued for the post. Trump is 100%, or Q is 100% coming from the Trump administration. And that was an awesome video. And this is like by far the best breakdown I have ever seen, like ever. And it's like a real Anon style, right? Of 9/11. And it'll just, you will watch it. You will watch it. And I'm telling you this right now because it happened to everybody that's seen it. You're going to be like, you're going to walk away like super red pilled again. Like, I don't know how to just, you know what I mean? You know, when you became red pilled, you're just like, oh my God, like, how do I live regular life? You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I just figured it out. You're going to feel that way about this documentary. So I put it in chat there. Definitely watch it. If you can't watch it now, bookmark it so you can watch it later, maybe over the weekend. I am telling you, it will be worth your time. Knowledge is power. It will be worth your time. All right. Okay. And it's so funny because the Justice Cometh was in chat. I don't know if you're still in here. You were on the list of all my billions of tabs. like, oh, the expert. If you're gonna be schnickies, watch it a few times. That's cool. That's good. Rock and roll. Okay, so this is cool. This is like what I was talking about how Anons work and how they are. So the Justice Cometh says Nunes is key. Nunes coming back into the spotlight is very telling. I don't know if you guys have heard, and we'll play that in just a minute. FISA works both ways, as he gathered intel on them all. Remember Five Eyes? RR equals 1818. Is that Rod Rosenstein? I'm not sure. Post 1818 equals Hillary Rodham Clinton. We have Hillary's server. And I remember Trump even mentioning all that. And Comey went light on her at the time. Comey was the director of the FBI. All roads lead back to Obama. Buckle up, buttercups. The flood of information is coming. All right. And this, I think, is the Delta. Yeah. So FBI, DOJ to state / Hussein, White House. So Hussein, Barack Hussein, Obama. Now this goes. Okay. So this was to a comment. And I think I responded because that's right. I responded to you because I was like, I just did a post about that. Okay. So what happened is, it comes out, John Solomon, so I'm going down this trail here. John Solomon comes out, he goes, breaking, Devin Nunes departing Trump media to focus on Intel oversight role. Do you hear thunder? I hear thunder. You guys feeling it? I feel thunder. I hear it. All right. So I say Nunes and Cash, the dream team coming back. Bring the thunder, boys. And so, if you know, you know. Now, this is going to be fun. I'm going to play this because I think it's important. Okay. I think it's important. So the Q post that happened, that was a Delta for this, which was yesterday, 22nd. It has this video. So I screen recorded it and I put it up here for everybody to see. So I say future really does prove past. 1, 2, 3, 8. And actually, let's open that up so you guys are like understanding where I'm coming from. Let me grab it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 8. I gotta get my mic out of the way. Silly mic. Okay, yeah, so it is. It is the same post. It is the same post. That's why I posted it underneath Justice Cometh. And you know what? That's why. That's the coolest thing. It's like, oh my gosh, that's the same one. He put this out, right? We just went through the whole thing. This is the video that Q has posted. And we will watch it. I will see you guys on the other side.
Taking Jim Comey to task over newly released memos the former FBI director kept to document his conversations with the president. The Justice Department's Inspector General is now investigating if Comey mishandled classified information by giving some of those documents to a friend who then shared them with a reporter. The president calling that move illegal and saying it raises questions about the Mueller-Russia investigation. Meanwhile, 3 GOP committee chairmen out with a scathing statement on the Comey memos, accusing him of political bias in his interactions with the Obama-era officials versus President Trump. I'm joined right now by one of those lawmakers. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes is live this morning at the World Ag Expo in California, and Congressman Nunes is also a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
I want to get to that memo, the letter that you have written after the Jim Comey memos were out. But first,
So if anyone knows about this, he does. And guess what? On the day of that Delta, he's leaving True Social and joining an Intelligence Oversight Committee. I wonder what about? Only time will tell. I'm just saying, it's so cool.
let me start here. Let's pick up where we left off the last time we spoke, Mr. Chairman. You joined us 4 weeks ago on this program. At that time, you said you wanted to get the electronic communication from the Department of Justice and the FBI. You wanted that electronic communications to understand exactly how the Trump investigation into collusion even began. You've now since seen the electronic communication, yes?
That's correct. So it took us a long time to actually get this, what's called the electronic communication. As we know it now for your viewers, what that is it's the original intelligence, the original reasons that the counterintelligence investigation was started. Now, this is really important to us because a counterintelligence investigation uses the tools of our intelligence services that are not supposed to be used on American citizens. So we've long wanted to know, well, what intelligence did you have that actually led to this investigation? So what we found now, after the investigators have reviewed it, is that in fact there was no intelligence. So we have a traditional partnership with what's called the Five Eyes Agreement. Five Eyes Agreement involves our friends in Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Canada, and of course us. So long time process and procedures in place where we move intelligence across. We are not supposed to spy on each other's citizens, and it's worked well, and it continues to work well. And we know it's working well because there was no intelligence that passed from Five Eyes through the Five Eyes channels to our government. And that's why we had to see that original communication. So now we're trying to figure out, as you know, we are investigating the State Department. We think there's some major irregularities at the State Department, and we're trying to figure out how it is that this information about Mr. Papadopoulos, of all people, who was supposedly meeting with some folks in London, how that made it over across into the FBI's hands. We know a little bit about that because of what some of the State Department officials themselves have said about that. So we were glad to get this behind us, but now, of course, as we peel another piece back, it leaves more unanswered questions, which we're trying to get to the bottom of.
Mr. Chairman, you've got to explain what you just said. I think this is extraordinary, that you're telling us that in order for the FBI, the Department of Justice, to launch an investigation into so-called collusion between President Trump and the Russians, there was no official intelligence used. Then how did this investigation start? I don't understand, sir. Please explain.
Well, I think that is the point. We don't understand. We've never understood because, you know, we have access to these finished intelligence products, and we've never seen one. So we thought, well, maybe there was one that went through a different channel that was kept really quiet, that was secret, that was kept from the Congress and other folks. Well, in fact, after our investigators reviewed this, that is not what happened. There was no Five Eyes intelligence product as it's been reported. There was no product. And I think that's a major problem because we have to have trust with our partners, with our allies. We have to make sure that our agencies talk and they work out problems. We have to make sure that they don't spy on either American citizens or that we're not spying on British citizens. These are all things that have been around for decades. So, and this is even more critical. Let's just at the highest level, what is this? What is this about? This was about a counterintelligence investigation that was at the height of a political campaign where you opened up an investigation using these intelligence services to spy on the other campaign. It's really serious stuff.
It's quite extraordinary. So you're investigating the State Department. Does that mean it was Hillary Clinton pulling the strings? I mean, here you have Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State. She's the other candidate. Is she pulling the strings on an investigation launched on her opponent, her political opponent, Donald Trump?
Well, we don't know that yet, but what I can tell you what we do know. We do know that longtime associates of Hillary Clinton, including Sidney Blumenthal and another person named, I think, Corey Scheer, were actively giving information to the State Department that was somehow making its way to the FBI. This is from two people within the State Department who have now publicly come out and said this in, I think, in major news publications. So we know this. We know this was at least two witnesses who have publicly said this. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to piece all that together. We now know that there was no official intelligence that was used to start this investigation. We know that Sidney Blumenthal and others were pushing information into the State Department. So we're trying to piece all of that together, and that's why we continued to look at the State Department.
We are awaiting the IG report as it relates to Jim Comey, as it relates to the handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation. We got these Comey memos this week. Tell me what you got from these memos. What struck you most?
Well, the main reason we wanted them out is because the mainstream media and the Democrats have been running around talking about collusion. When they figured out there was no collusion, they moved on to obstruction of justice. What Mr. Gowdy, who was able to review these a long time ago, and Mr. Goodlatte had said, and now we know this from reading them, is that once you read all of the Comey memos, it becomes Exhibit A in a defense against that there was no obstruction of justice. So I think when you read all of them, good legal minds review these. When you have the President of the United States saying, look, investigate all of my people. If anybody in my campaign was colluding with the Russians, I want to know, and they need to be brought to justice. Something of that nature is in the Comey memos. So this is why the Comey memos needed to get out, because, you know, if there is obstruction of justice, we want to know about it. But clearly there wasn't, and that's what the Comey memos prove. Now, I think for Mr. Comey, when you match up his memos with what's in his book, with the interviews that he's giving, I think he's got a lot of problems coming in the future as it relates to what the IG is looking at into his behavior during the Clinton email investigation.
Well, what kind of problems? I mean, we know that the IG has recommended criminal charges against his former deputy, Andrew McCabe. Where does that go? What does that mean? Criminal charges. Where do you see that going? And is that the same fate that we will see for Jim Comey?
Well, it's hard to say right now, but we know that. So Mr. McCabe has been recommended that he face criminal charges. Now his lawyer, and he has a right to his lawyer. His lawyer has said no, this is not true. What the IG, Mr. Comey, is lying. Essentially, is what Mr. McCabe is saying, that Comey did give him the right to go talk to the press. So this all has to be fleshed out. Clearly, the IG. Doesn't believe, the IG believed Mr. Comey, that Comey did not give Mr. McCabe the ability to go talk to the press. Now, as it relates to Mr. Comey, you've got the added problem now that the memos that he wrote, the 7 memos that he decided to write on President Trump, never wrote memos on any of the other meetings he had with the other president or the AG or anyone else prior to this, but he kept 7 memos. 4 of those were classified. He decided to launder them to a friend who then leaked them to the New York Times. If those memos contain classified information, he purposely did that. He purposely leaked them in order to get a special counsel started after he was fired. He leaked pieces of these, so we need to figure out exactly what is it that he leaked. Who did he give these memos to? And was it just the friend that leaked them to the New York Times, or were there others? I believe there were others. I think that these Comey memos were actually given to several people. It contained classified information. The irony is the very thing that Mr. Comey cleared Mrs. Clinton of.
We're going to take a break right here, but with all of what you're saying, whether it's no official intelligence, the president pushing to find out the truth, no obstruction of justice, are these reasons to shut down this Robert Mueller special counsel probe?
Who's dead now? That's probably nothing.
Well, look, I in the beginning, I actually supported special counsel because I thought, okay, Mr. Mueller will come in, longtime FBI guy. He will quickly see that there's no evidence of collusion, which there was, because we had not seen any. Just like I said, we've not seen any intelligence product that shows that there was any collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians.
Right.
But that he would quickly go after the felony that occurred when General Flynn was talking to the Russian ambassador, and all of that information was leaked out, which is a major felony at the highest level. So I thought, great, we'll have a special counsel. They'll close those leaks. We'll figure out who that was. Well, that never happened. It appears like this was clearly what started as a counterintelligence investigation into the Trump campaign. They drilled a bunch of dry holes, never found any collusion. They moved to obstruction. They got a special counsel. And now God knows where this is going to go. Right. But I think the American people are getting sick and tired of it.
Well, they did manage to raid Michael Cohen's office. And
yes, dude, the American people are so sick and tired of it. We've been sick and tired of it back then, right? Q Post 1238, 8 years ago. Wow. So it's been a long ride. And this is great. Enjoy the ride. He's always putting out good stuff. I know there's people that think it's like Trump's Slack account. I don't know if that's really true, but it's you never know. You never know who's who, right? All right. So remember your roots, Anon. Now I'm gonna pull up the rest of these. Okay. Actually, we'll move over to this real quick. 1 second. And guys, you're so awesome. Please give me thumbs up. We're going to move over here to, well, actually, we're going to play, I'm jumping all over. I'll play this. I'm going to move the rest of the stuff up because I honestly have so much more stuff, but I'm going to find the key ones, okay? And then they'll try to end the stream sooner than later. Okay, so united we stand, divided we fall. How's it go? Where we go one, we go all. All right.
We don't need our name on the board. Spreading knowledge and truth don't require a reward. If we humble ourselves and let go of our pride, through my weakness, the spirit gains power inside. Once again, we're faced with an impossible foe. It's like the tentacles are rising, we don't know where to go. But God wins, that's why we gotta trust the plan. We make our way through this battlefield hand in hand. Gather around, kind of quiet. They're busy finding all of the info and triple checking like crazy. We're in a fight much different than I could have predicted. Through the looking glass, you might gain some perspective. If you share the truth every day, expect a stormy cloud to float your way. God wins, that's why you gotta trust the plan. Divided we fall, united we stand. 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 We gotta stay united. Yeah, we gotta stay united. Ooh, oh, we gotta stay united. We can see the social programming for out of control puppet on the string. If you could turn off your TV and think for yourself, you'll be amazed about the truth that was kept from the world. Gold house, resources stolen from mankind. That took your job, home, food, water, even your mind. But no more shouting one big voice, dark to light, they don't got a choice. Can we rise together through stormy weather? We could talk the talk, but if we walk it's much better. We got a lot to learn from one another. Iron sharpens iron and we are sharper than ever. Take my hand, let's stand till the end. It's not a game, this is real, my friend. So right now, let's join and focus on the plan. Divided we fall, united we stand. 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 We gotta stay united. Divided we fall, united we stand. Divided we fall, united we stand. Divided we fall, united we stand. We gotta stay united.
Amen to that. We do have to stay united 100%. All right. So that takes us to a post of Donald Trump's from 2020. He says the Obama-Biden administration is the most corrupt administration in the history of our country. That's pretty much a future-proof past there. And we had Dan Scavino putting this out. I say final stretch anons. Other people were doing good good takes of what it means. And we're going to play it. It's actually a pretty inspirational clip. Yeah, dude, final stretch, let's go. Shaky. You got it. Now, some people were pointing out, I thought was kind of cool. Let's see, I think we got to do this to see the numbers here. Where is it? Okay, so there's a counter, right? Right when they're coming up and right when they really pass by this guy. And that's when it zooms in. And also doing video editing, right when this happens, the song goes, that's right when the song picks up. right at 17 seconds. So I just want you to check that out for 1 second here. Here we go. Cue. Okay. You see it? It's pretty cool. I think that's a con there. All right. So inspirational. I love the inspirational memes. You know, that's what it's really all about in the end of the day, right? The inspirational memes.
My fellow Americans, we will make memes great again. Yes, the best memes.
Nothing can stop what's coming, guys. Oh, yeah. You know, I that's the funny thing. I'm like, I do like these all, you know, I'll dig into things and all this stuff. And in the end of the day, I'm like, I'm just a memer. Video memes, of course. That takes us to the Justice Cometh Again. Is great because you put out some great content today. So that's kind of what I do here. I'm not like stealing people's content, but I'm like highlighting it if you want to put it that way. And also a bunch of my content too. It's crazy. Brad's seen the folders. They're full. But they keep filling because there's so much stuff to cover. There's so many things to make, so much inspiration. There's so many things that the Trump administration is doing and kicking butt with. We should be celebrating and be excited. The other thing is there's doomers, okay? There's doomers out there. There's probably some doomers in chat. And I'm sorry that you don't understand what's happening. I'm sorry for you. I wish you could. We've told you everything. But I still liken it to like the Q post. If you were there for when it was happening, that was like you went to the summer camp, you know? Everybody was there. They knew, they felt it. We experienced it together, like a troop, like boot camp. We can tell everybody about it now, and we can tell them about it, and it's all there, but it's just like looking at pictures and videos. It won't hit the same. But we want you guys to understand that there is a plan. And it's funny, I guess I'm part of the plan. And a bunch of other people out there, Justice Cometh part of the plan. Brad CGZ, if you're watching, Zerbo. Everybody, all of you guys out there. Who was it? Keltra, you're amazing. Who else was in chat? Shannon, CLC, so amazing. And also, yes, over on X, I saw Snow Shark, and I didn't get to actually properly thank you. Thank you for reposting this stream on X. It is super awesome. You guys are amazing. Great Stand By Me vid. Yep, that was really good. Giddy up. Much love. Yeah, dude, that was some giddy up and going on there. Okay. So it says, go back to the beginning. POTUS needs you. Start fighting again and educating. So kind of like what I'm saying. The information is there, and so basically this is what happens. There's information, and Q told us to take the information and bake it into bread. So meaning take the ingredients, everything that you're finding, and whip it up. Could be a meme, could be a song, could be a video, right? Put it in there. Baking, I mean, that's not an easy task. You know, it takes time and love, and you get better at it. And the Q operation was basically, we were at the boot camp to learn how to do all this early on, get better at our craft, get understanding of the whole FISA-gate, Russia-gate, all of that before it even comes down the pike. Get the whole understanding of Epstein before it even broke. Years. I think it was like 3 years before that even came out. Nobody even knew who Epstein was. I didn't know who Epstein was. Q just started posting about it. Like, how's Epstein guy? Oh, he's a sick pedophile. You know what I mean? And then lo and behold, right? So we do need to educate. So start fighting again and educating. That's what we need. Not everything is fake and scripted. Moves and counter moves. Love it. Okay, we're going to play it.
You had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean? Maybe we could win it back together. Eye of the tiger, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm the tiger. I'm the tiger. I'm the tiger. So rock and roll, dude. Rock and freaking roll. Nobody walks away from this. So, Cash coming out. Let's go through some of my folders. Found some Cash videos. And, we've been told to trust Cash. Remember when he came out with those Punisher socks? That was so cool. That was fun. I loved it. It's just like that tippy top thing that happened with Trump. That was like the one that I was like, oh, it's real. It's real. That's so cool. It's like the Frodo Baggins thing too. Remember, like Frodo comes back. He's like, we just saved Middle Earth. And everyone's like, pass the brandy. And he's like, man, you know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of like what it was. Like, but now it's coming to fruition. Thank goodness, justice. It looks like justice is coming, man. And I am super excited for that. So this is Cash. Nobody.
So let's get into the deep
this.
state. Because it sounds like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is it?
It is an apolitical entity that operates in government to service itself instead of the American people. And what I mean by that is it's leadership positions across government, whether it's DOJ, FBI, DOD, CIA, whatever, combined with underlying positions that are pretty senior up, who work with mainstream media entities. To perpetuate frauds on the American people, to commit government corruption, and to stay in power, and to lie to the American people, and to rob them of the truth. Once the truth gets out, their corruption is going to be exposed. They might get prosecuted for breaking the law. And once that happens, you have an explosion in DC.
We will totally obliterate the deep state. Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Raging power, wages, falls, money, driven, major, fraud, worthless, body, diamond, bones, wanna be it, wanna feel it.
This sign means poison.
Weather modification or cloud seeding.
But as I have said before, the gravest threats to our civilization are not from abroad, but from within.
Say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy.
Yeah, that was the heart attack gun. So you guys know there's a heart attack gun.
We must
that was declassified.
Conduct a top-to-bottom overhaul to clean out the festering rot and corruption of Washington, D.C.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret.
But look, if people go to only one source, and the source they go to is sick and has an agenda, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to be able to just hammer it out of existence.
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Whoa, I'm huge. All right. So it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together. I had so many tabs, but I'm going to end this show because I'm hitting 3 freaking hours. I love you, beautiful people out there. Basically, there is... Okay, yeah, we'll jump right here. We'll jump right here to some just real quick breaking news before I go out. Today, the FBI joined our great partners. This is put out by Cash, by the way. Rock and Roll Cash. And I saw you guys giving Cash love out there in the chat. He definitely deserves it. There's been an operation on all of these guys within all these movements against patriots. And I'm sick of it. And I will call it out. Okay, so today the FBI joined our great partners, announcing a series of sweeping, coordinated scam center strike force takedowns against Southeast Asian criminal organizations. This is like China stuff. These actors were allegedly operating scam centers that have defrauded Americans of billions of dollars, including at least one compound in Burma. The op involved charges against 2 Chinese nationals, $700 million in cryptocurrency restrained, as well as a seizure of Telegram channels and 503 scam websites. This is all part of this admin's nationwide effort to crush fraud hurting Americans. Pursuant to President Trump's executive order combating cybercrime, fraud, and predatory schemes against American citizens. So that happened. Something else that happened. Okay. I know it's supposed to end, but I have to do these real quick because they're very, very important. So this came out. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro reveals a major takedown by the scam center strike force targeting overseas criminal organizations that have been defrauding Americans for billions of dollars. I'm just going to play it so you guys can hear this.
Charged Chinese bosses who ran a scam compound in Burma where thousands were trafficked, enslaved, beaten, and then forced to steal from Americans for years. We have seized also a Telegram channel, and that channel was luring workers into a forced compound in Cambodia. There they were ordered to pose as U.S. banks, as the New York City Police Department, to steal Americans' life savings. We have charged Chinese bosses.
So that's crazy. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff happening all at once. Matt struck for this out. I gotta share this. It's so funny.
Up, 4 lengths, 5 lengths, almost 6 lengths. Covfefe, Javier Castellano on a rocket Philly here. Covfefe is going to get some good press. Covfefe opening up 7, 8 lengths. Covfefe, look at this. Covfefe in a minute. 7.70. The track record just came tumbling down.
And who bet on Covfefe, man? Who bet on Covfefe? I bet it. You know, I mean, I didn't bet on that horse, but if I could have, I would have. You know what I'm saying? But as far as I think that's awesome. And we're gonna play this real quick. Operation Gangsta. It's funny. Operation Gangsta's Paradise. Cash made a post about it. I know I had it open, but I can't find it. And for the for saving time, I'm just going to play this here. They're going to talk about this Operation Gangsta's Paradise. 37 Mexican mafia associates arrested. This happened today, 11 hours ago. Fox News put it out.
Federal and local law enforcement targeting the Mexican mafia across Southern California. Gigi Gracia live in Santa Ana with all the details that we learned this morning. Gigi.
That's right. That press conference of the FBI and the Department of Justice, along with several local police departments from Orange County, just wrapping up, making the big announcement after an operation was executed this morning. One of those large scales, often referred to as raids. This operation called Gangsta's Paradise. Take a look. Here is some information. 25 members and associates of the Mexican Mafia prison gang were arrested today on 3 federal indictments, charging them with committing crimes in Orange County, including kidnapping, extortion, running illegal casinos, drug trafficking, and murder. The operation, again called Gangsta's Paradise, an effort 2 years in the making, executed by almost a dozen SWAT teams this morning, with both federal agents and local police working side by side, swarming homes in Orange County and Los Angeles, all of them at the same time. 43 out of 47 suspects in the 3 indictments filed today are now behind bars, including the Department of Justice says one of the Mexican Mafia's top shot callers, who is already in state prison, doing all of this from prison. He's also been indicted now on these federal charges.
The case's main indictment charges dozens of Mexican Mafia gangsters in 66 felony counts. It paints a disturbing picture of how the gang's tentacles extend from state prison into our county jails and on through the streets to influence Latino street gangs and drug dealers in Santa Ana, Anaheim, Fullerton, and elsewhere. And I want to explain real quick, the Mexican Mafia is a prison gang. It is the most powerful prison gang in the United States. The members are incarcerated in state prison, but you're going to hear how despite being incarcerated in state prison, they're still running the gangs out in the communities.
Now, also seized today 25 guns, 5,000 pills laced with fentanyl, in addition to cocaine and methamphetamine. At least 4 suspects are still on the run, and the FBI, the Department of Justice, are actively looking for them. Now, here in Santa Ana, one of the areas most affected, according to the FBI and the Santa Ana police chief, is East First Street. Their gang members were extorting business owners. They were selling drugs. They were running illegal casinos, and in those casinos, there was also drug dealing and prostitution, the federal agents said today. So certainly a big get for both the FBI and the local community here in Orange County. Reporting live in Santa Ana, I'm Gigi Gracia. I'll send it back to you.
Gigi, how were they able, because one of the things that U.S. Attorney Bill Saley had mentioned was that they were able to communicate with the outside world, these prison gang members, through cell phone. How are they able to do that?
All the time.
That's an important question. It was actually brought up at the press conference. Bill Saley saying that they have family members who somehow manage to sneak in cell phones. They pay other prisoners or other family members of other prisoners to sneak these phones in. And sadly, unfortunately, sometimes it's state employees themselves who are getting bribes outside of the prison to sneak a phone in, and they basically sell that phone to the prison members. This is a huge problem for the state and also in federal prison, although federal prisons are tighter, there's more security, but it's a huge problem across the country. And it's not only phones that are being brought in to the jails and the prisons, it's also drugs.
Thousand drugs, boys and girls. No, that's crazy though. And so this is some video of it. Pat Tip, the average Joe Patriot, puts this out. FBI delivers a major blow to Mexican Mafia. Here's some vids of it. Try you some, bitch. Get down to the ground. Hands behind your back.
Looks like he brought his own go bag.
Busted. Busted. All right, so that happened. We got a lot of things happening. We got crime getting cleaned up. We got things coming out of the FBI. We got this little tidbit here.
At least this one was announced by the DOJ. I mean, you know, it looks like we're going to prosecute here. More investigations on nonprofits coming.
Yeah, I think we're about to enter into, we have MAGA, we have MAHA, we have all these great acronyms. I think we're about to enter into a period of MAAA, Make America Accountable Again. I think
Let's go.
With Pam Bondi moved aside, the speed at which the Justice Department will move on things that have been working in the system for months is picking up. And so there'll be more nonprofits that were doing things that probably are not allowed under the tax code. If you incorporate yourself to say, we want a tax exemption because we're going to do public good, and you obstruct law enforcement proceedings on the streets of Minnesota or somewhere else, you're probably in danger of having committed fraud. So I would look and see, I'm watching, I think there'll be more indictments in the nonprofit realm. Then we're looking at those who may have given false testimony or obstructed Congress. We know John Brennan was referred for that. James Comey was targeted for that. I think those are on the table right now. Then those who may have gone and gotten phone records and pierced the privacy of individuals, they're next in line. So this line keeps moving. And then I think in the summer and fall, we're going to talk a lot more about a case called Operation Round River.
Sorry, I just realized I was muted. Sorry, guys. You remember the Q post? So he says they're going to be first in line, right? James Comey and John Brennan.
And fall. We're going to talk individuals, those who may have gone and gotten that. James Comey was targeted for that. I think those are on the table right now. Then those who may have gone and gotten phone records and pierced the privacy of individuals, they're next in line. So this line keeps moving. And then I think in the summer and fall, we're going to talk a lot.
So anyways, there's a Q post. I'll play it in a minute here.
It may be the most troubling of the four.
Oh my gosh.
Round River. Just remember that name. What we believe it is. Yeah. So it falls between Crossfire Hurricane and then Plasmic Echo and Arctic Frost. Plasmic Echo and Arctic Frost are sort of the things that evolve into Jack Smith's investigations. The classified documents is Plasmic Echo. Arctic Frost is the idea. Years later, we're going to go back and charge President Trump with a conspiracy because he and his people wanted to have alternate electors. Now, it's important in that Arctic Frost, which there was a great hearing on yesterday, 2 times in history before this, presidential candidates did submit alternate electors to Congress. 1960, John Kennedy, 1876, Sam Tilden. Neither time were those considered criminal acts, but in Donald Trump's world, he's considered a criminal for doing the third time. That's what Arctic Frost is. But between that, when Russia collusion and Crossfire Hurricane was ending, the FBI opened up a new investigation called Round River, and its goal was to neutralize anyone who would dare suggest that there was a corrupt relationship between Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and the Ukrainian government or the Ukrainian company Burisma, and to treat people who talked about it with certain speech parameters as national security threats. And I'm working hard to get those files declassified. And I think that's going to be the most troubling, because I believe if what we're being told is true, and I want to check it until we get it there may have been speech parameters as the reason you were targeted. If you said something, you might have been assessed a security threat as a security threat by the FBI. That would be very troubling. I've seen some evidence in court filings in the last few days that entire law firms had their client records taken secretly under this investigation, or spinoffs from it. You know, you're supposed to have some privacy when you have a relationship with you and your lawyer. So we'll see where that leads. But all the people I've talked to in government think that Round River may be the most jaw-dropping of the 4 codename investigations that targeted Donald Trump and his followers.
Oh boy, I will tell you. All right, we are going to end this show, and let me move this over here. We'll lead you out with Trump Knows Where the Bodies Are Buried. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. And just remember, Patriots are in control. seems to me that Trump is making moves, very strong moves and very strong counter moves. And it's exciting to see. And I will keep you guys updated with all this. And thank you, everybody, all the people that I shared and your content. And there was just so many more people. But just go on X and also on Rumble here. There's so many Patriot channels. I will raid us out to somebody I will find. It's always like if it's someone I know, I'm like, yeah, raid them. If it's someone where I'm like, well, I don't know, what's this channel about, but I will lead us out and raid a Patriot channel. Hopefully I will find someone who is live right now. And guys, please give me a thumbs up, share the show if you liked it. And it seems to me that justice might be coming. Good times ahead. All right. Trump knows where the bodies are buried. I will see you guys Monday, same time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, stay frosty. And remember, where we go one, we go all.
It is the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty, right in the middle of a presidential election in which he is losing very badly. This is called election interference and yet another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. More importantly, it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or communist nation. This day will go down in infamy, and Joe Biden will forever be remembered as not only the most corrupt president in the history of our country, but perhaps even more importantly, the president who, together with a band of his closest thugs, misfits, and Marxists, tried to destroy American democracy. But they will fail, and we will win bigger and better than ever before.
The foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden allegedly has audio recordings of his conversation with them. 17 such recordings. These recordings were allegedly kept as a sort of insurance policy for the foreign national in case that he got into a tight spot.
I mean, what do you have to say after all we've seen in the last 5 hours?
Well, honestly, it's really about what we've seen over the last 5 years, Carl. And I guess at this point, I don't think anyone should be surprised. They should be outraged. They should be pissed off. But at this point, I don't think anyone should be surprised. They are using Stalinist tactics. These are the things that would make Mao, Pol Pot, and others blush.
Right.
It's truly sick. And I just hope it's enough to get the American people and wake them up. Because the deep state, the Uni Party, they fear what he will do going back in a second term when he doesn't have to get reelected, when he doesn't have to make any more friends, and with the understanding and the knowledge and the base that he has coming in this from scratch. But after 4 years of putting up with it, he knows where the bodies are buried, and he's going to burn it to the ground.
I'm not the one who thinks I'm above the law. I'm the one that followed the law. I'm the only one. Many of Biden's classified documents were in Chinatown, D.C., Chinatown, which is shocking considering his family received so much money from China. Most infamously of all, Hillary Clinton set up an illegal private server in her basement. You never heard this story. With the deliberate intention of violating public information laws so she could hide her pay-for-play scandals at the Clinton Foundations or whatever. Hillary stored vast quantities of classified and sensitive information on her illicit set. Some of it happened to leak. It leaked into Anthony Weiner's computer. Remember Anthony Weiner? Into his computer. You don't want to be on his computer. When caught, Hillary then deleted and acid washed. Nobody does that because of the expense, but it's pretty conclusive. 33,000 emails in defiance of a congressional subpoena already launched. The subpoena was there, and she decided to delete, acid wash, and then smash and destroy her cell phones with a hammer. And then they say, I participated in obstruction. No, think of it. That's called obstruction. The FBI and the DOJ protected her, did not issue subpoenas, did not use a grand jury, did not execute search warrants. And then the corrupt head of the FBI, James Comey, declared no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case. Can you believe it? They want to distract from the real espionage and the real crime, so let's use President Trump to do so. Let's go out and let's indict President Trump so they don't talk about the $5 million bribe. Just yesterday, Senator Grassley revealed that the Burisma executive who allegedly paid the bribe reportedly has Cookie Joe on tape. They have 17 tapes, I understand. He must be a nice guy to deal with, right? The guy from Burisma, nice company. They got him and Hunter on 17 different tapes, supposedly. But the FBI isn't showing them. Now that the seal, so important, is broken, the seal is broken by what they've done. They should never have done this. This was an unwritten rule. You just don't. Unless it's really bad. If you just don't. But the seal is now broken. I will totally obliterate the deep state. We will obliterate the deep state. And we know who they are. I know exactly who they are. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's very simple. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They want you silent. And I am the only one that can save this nation because you know they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country and we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you all.
So, okay, so now we've confirmed that the document exists. That's progress because the FBI director initially denied that it exists. Why did he do that?
We have already and previously acknowledged the existence of the documents.
Yeah, after you first denied it. Now, when a member of this committee read it, right, the FBI director, let's just get the record straight. The FBI director initially said it doesn't exist. Then Senator Grassley said, I've read it. Then he said, oh, okay, well, gotcha. I guess it does exist. Now you're going back and forth with members of this committee, what's in it. Why don't you just release it? Is it classified?
The document is not classified.
Okay. Will you commit to releasing it?
Senator, we'll take that back and we will work with you in this committee.
How about just a yes or no? Will you commit to releasing this unclassified document that alleges that the President of the United States, has taken $5 million or more in bribes from a foreign nation?
The document has already been released pursuant to a subpoena to the House Oversight Committee.
Has it been released to this committee?
We'll work with this committee within the parameters that are established.
Here we are at the precipice, and I can see it, the glimpse of light piercing through the turbulence, surrounding in the darkness, closing in. Clouds are starting to form. I stand with you in the storm, through the rain and the hail. I'll take your hand. Let's go. This is it. They've sealed their fate. It's time to
obliterate the deep state. Obliterate the deep state. Totally obliterate the deep state.
You may have to get you a larger room.
Obliterate.
And maybe it'll be built by somebody that knows how to build, and we won't have columns. Do you understand that? We get rid of the columns.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning.
You know what happened? You know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp.
It's time to obliterate the deep state. Obliterate the deep state, the deep state. Totally obliterate the deep state. Obliterate the deep state, the deep state. Totally obliterate the deep state. Obliterate the deep state. Really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh yeah. Deep state. Just another day. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up on the way out. And you can share the show. That would be great. Give me a comment. Comments. Hold on. All right. Yes, sir. Last week's show, Rosemary 1925 says, Miss Abby. Oh, thank you. I thought I could help you. John in Texas says, beautiful Midnight Ride song and video. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Are the Midnight Riders. Things are starting to pick up. Be pretty sweet. Rock and roll, guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. Remember, God is with us. And don't forget, where we go on, we go on.
And frankly, I thought it was going to go down much more. Only because people don't understand.
I
to
need
a large,
someone
it's a
to
great,
raid, so
it's a
hold
big
on. I'm
chess
playing
game
a video while you raid. Love you guys.
at a very high level. It's a very high level chess, the highest. And I'm dealing with very smart players. These are smart people. They don't get there. You know, when you deal with some of these people, you're dealing with high level intellect, very high IQ people. These are not Jasmine Crockett and her group. These are smart people. These are really smart people, and violent people, and vicious people, and some very nice people. And some are very nice but violent. They turn violent. But you know what? If I didn't do what I did, we would have been hit. Number one, very important, was the termination of Obama's horrible deal. And number two, this beautiful plane hitting them 8 months ago, whatever it was, and taking out their nuclear capacity. That totally threw them for a loop. If they had that bomb at either time, 5 years ago or 7 months ago, if they had that bomb would have been used almost immediately. Only because people don't understand. To a large, it's a big chess game at a very high level.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Well, now there's this. The FBI has launched criminal investigations into former FBI Director James Comey and the former Director of the CIA, John Brennan.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Justice Department sources tell Fox News Digital the probes are related to potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia investigation.
We'll see you Monday.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
See you Tuesday.
You'll find out.
That includes allegations of making false statements to Congress. The FBI has launched criminal investigations into former FBI Director James Comey and the former Director of the CIA, John Brennan.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.